Hello, everyone. How are you today? Welcome to Tuesday's training. Every Tuesday at 1 p.m., I go live here to help you improve what I call your marketing proficiency effect so that you can build a predictably profitable business on your terms. So today is the fourth in our series about website makeover. So if you haven't seen numbers 1, 2, and 3, you can simply go back into the archives under more, under media, and under videos and look for website makeover. As I said, this is the fourth in our series. Next month, for the month of March, we'll actually be moving into a whole different topic, and we're going to talk about client getting Facebook Lives. That's right. We're going to talk about client getting Facebook Lives, and I've actually created a new Facebook group just for that purpose. And if you'd like to know more, simply just look under the group. So let's talk about 20 ways your website might be costing you money. So in the comments below, please, would you, hello, Facebook user, would you please let me know, do you know, or do you have a sense that your website needs updating right this minute? Right this minute. So I'd love to hear from you if you think, maybe I could be suffering from a bit of website shame, or I do know specifically that my website needs to be updated. So I'd love to hear those comments here. Here's the thing. If your prospects aren't reading your website, if they aren't scrolling down, if they aren't engaged, if they aren't staying for, hey, Mark, if they aren't staying for longer than 30 seconds, so if you're not raising their curiosity in that header and they're not staying longer than 30 seconds, you've lost them. You have totally lost them, and that means your website has cost you a prospective client. So I'm going to share with you very quickly today 20 or more ways your website could be costing you money. And these are in no particular order. Okay, no particular order. So number 1, perhaps you have what I call uninspiring content. You know, there's lots of words on there, but your client, your prospect isn't going to your website and isn't going, that's me. They aren't leaning in, they aren't listening to you, and they don't know that they're in the right place. Number 2 is perhaps you have overused stock photos, and they look at your website and they go, I don't know who I'm talking to, or maybe those photos don't resonate with them, and they're going, this isn't the place that I should be. Okay. Number 3, perhaps some of the links on your website are broken. In other words, you know, we have all the links for people to connect with us in social media. Sometimes I go on people's websites and those links don't work properly. And the other thing is, if you have backlinks, maybe those backlinks aren't working. Number 4, this is one of my all-time pet peeves. So if I'm kind of checking someone out, scoping them, creeping them out, I will go to their website. And one of the first things that I do is I scroll right down to the bottom, and there's a date on everybody's website, you know, that it's copyrighted as of. If that date is not the current year, I go, gotcha. You haven't really cared enough to keep that updated. All right. So that copyright date isn't current, and it leaves me with the impression that whoever's the owner, they're not on top of things. Okay. Number 5 is a lack of consistent calls to action buttons. So calls to action buttons. So I'll just, reference my own website. My own website has a consistent call to action button. First of all, top right corner, and it says schedule a call. Those same words, the same color is repeated multiple times on the home page. So, any of these resonating with any of you guys out there? Okay, we're only up to number 5. Any of these resonate? I'd love to hear from you. All right, number 6. Number 6 is you aren't visible. And I mean by you, your face, your pretty little face is not visible. And I can't tell you how many times I go to people's websites and I go, who am I really dealing with? Who? Because as you know, people buy from people. So even if it's a corporate website, I want to know, who am I dealing with? And so if you are the sole proprietor, if you're a coach, a mentor, if you are the consultant, I want to see your charming little face front and center. Okay. Number 7, it's what I call navigation clutter. So we all know where the navigation bar is, right? It's right along the top. And when we have too many buttons on our navigation bar, we are inviting people to go down a rabbit hole somewhere else instead of reading our whole home page. So on the navigation bar, 3 to 4 buttons at the most. The rest can all go down in your footer, or what is often called your junk drawer. Okay, people don't need to know about you because your website's not about you. Your website's about them. About you can go down in the bottom. Testimonials can go down in the bottom. Maybe your shop can go down in the bottom. Your contact information can go down in the bottom. All right, so don't have navigation clutter. Number 8, maybe you're too salesy. Now, what do I mean by that? Maybe especially on your homepage, you're pushing your solution before they even get to know, like, and trust you. Sometimes people are pushing their, and this very often happens in sort of healthcare, they're pushing their modality. So let's say you've got a health coach and the health coach says, well, right away they're talking about their solution. You need the 4 steps to lose 10 pounds in 50 days. Website. Okay, whoever that Facebook user, I just sent my webmaster an email to update the 2021. Awesome. Good one. Good one. So sometimes people are too pushy before they're know, like, and trust. Number 9 is sometimes they're not pushy enough. And what I mean by this is, it's interesting when I work with clients on their websites, and you have an opportunity to work with me on Thursday on your website. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But they are surprised when I indicate how many times they should be putting a call to action button actually on that home page. We tend to underuse it. And so your call to action button is really your call. It's like the cash register buttons. You should have it very, very frequently. Number 10 is speaking at your customers. So as the expert, your job is to actually guide your customers to the solution, right? You are acting as the guide. I'm the entrepreneur's GPS, so I am your guide to creating a predictably profitable business. But if I'm talking at my customers, what it means is I'm not showing them empathy, and I'm not actually guiding them to where they want to go. All right? So you must act as the guide, not the hero. You're not the hero. You are the guide. You are the guide that can provide them with that solution. So remember to show some empathy. Number 11 is lack of social proof. There are many ways to show, tongue twister. There are many ways to show social proof. One of them, you all know, is about testimonials. But testimonials just need to be short snippets of really great words. They don't need to be long and drawn out because remember, nobody reads long paragraphs. Okay, so short snippets. Those are testimonials, but also you could have maybe brands that you have worked with or people who have been seen on TV. You'll see that they have this credibility banner. So that's social proof that you are who you say you are. Okay, so we need to provide some of that because that acts as reassurance for our prospects. Number 12. All right, now this is a big one, guys. How many of you do not have, and the key word is an effective lead magnet, an effective lead magnet on your website that consistently brings you prospects and that consistently grows your email list. This is huge, huge, huge. If you're going to fix anything on your website, probably this would be one of the things that you would need to fix. So raise your hand, be honest. How effective is your website? Or sorry, your lead magnet. How effective is your lead magnet? You're all being shy. You're not saying, maybe you don't know. And if you don't know, then you need to find out. Okay. All right. Where are we? Number 13. Perhaps your website isn't as mobile friendly as it should be. Let's see. I'd like to play a little game here. The number one place, so I'd like you to answer this. There we are, Mark. Here's a question. The number one place where people read websites, emails, etc. The number one place in the house that they read on the phone. Anybody need to know that? Anybody know that? Where do people take their phones most often? It's not their offices. They're using their laptops. You probably know this. It's their bathrooms. They're reading information on their phones in the bathroom. Your website needs to be mobile friendly and you should check it. Couch, no, there we are. Good guess, but it's in the bathroom. It's in the bathroom, okay? All right, number 14. Perhaps your website has actually too much information, and it's causing overwhelm. And when a prospect is overwhelmed with too much information, they don't buy. So when I say too much information, the whole point of your website is to raise their curiosity. It's like your elevator pitch. You don't need to tell them everything in your elevator pitch. You want to raise their curiosity so that they ask, oh, how? And so there's a real story flow to a good home page. And that story flow keeps raising their curiosity so they want to read even more. So when it comes to information, you want to, less is more. The less that you can put on there, the better. And so I always challenge my clients, how can they express what they do in 10 words or less? It doesn't mean that they tell them everything, but you want to capture their curiosity. Okay. Number 15 is speaking insider language or expert speak, as I often call it. Excuse me. So I actually walk my clients through an exercise called a client needs identifier. And a client needs identifier helps my clients dive deeper into what I call observable symptoms of their bigger problem. And observable, so I'll give you an example, and I'll use myself as an example. My clients all say they want more clients. Well, frig, how many times have you heard that, right? And what business owner doesn't want more clients? However, I could say something like this. I could go a little deeper, dive deeper. I call this next level thinking. What does it look like in their world when they don't have enough clients? I could say they don't have any sales calls booked on their agenda. They're not getting any referrals. Those are what we would call observable symptoms. And observable symptoms are so key because when you're saying that, somebody, your prospect, your ideal prospect will go, that's exactly what my world looks like. That person must really get me. And those observable symptoms are things that they can't deny. Okay, so make sure that you are not using expert speak and that you use what I call this next level thinking. Next level thinking brings you next level success. All right, number 16, a lack of engaging videos. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast, next month is going to be all about getting clients using Facebook Lives and videos, mostly Facebook Lives. On your website, your clients want to see you. They want to see you in action. They want to know, they want to build that know, like, and trust. And there is nothing like a video showing the authentic you, not a polished, production, but the authentic you. And that's what they're going to connect with. So if you can have a couple of these videos on your website, you're golden. Number 17, too much text. So what do I mean by too much text? As you know, people's attention span is less than a goldfish. Okay? They are not going to be reading text if it's any more than an inch. People scan. They scan newsletters. They scan emails. They scan your website. They're going to be looking at the headers and they might read bullet points. That's all your website needs to be. Okay? If it's too much text, they're gone. They just are gone. Now, a hint about the videos. Your videos can say exactly the same thing as your text because people need to hear it and see it in different formats. Okay, number 18, we're getting down here. Number 18, your header should pass what I call the 3-second rule. So your header is that part of your website that when somebody goes on your website, that's what they see without scrolling down, okay? Your header is your first impression. It is the first impression that you create. And so on the header, the 3-second rule is that they should be able to answer these 3 questions. Number 1, who do you work with? Number 2, what do you do? And number 3, how do you make my life better? Who do you work with? What do you do? How do you make my life better? So if you went to my website, you would see it's all about marketing. It's all about coaches and consultants. And it's all about growing your biz. Okay, I've answered those 3 questions on my header in 3 seconds. Then your customer prospect knows that they're in the right place. Number 19. Oh yeah, now this one's a little more difficult to explain. So you know how you go to some websites and they say, well, we provide excellent customer service. If you're making claims like that and somebody, your prospect could say, well, I should hope so, then you don't need to say it. So it would be like a lawyer saying that they were honest. Well, I should freaking hope so, right? Do you really need to say it? So if you're making claims on your website, make sure that they're not claims that you could answer by, well, I should hope so. Okay. Number 20 is not monitoring your website's metrics. So the metrics of your website. Things like how many unique visitors are you getting? What is the average visit duration? Like how long do people actually stay? Where does the traffic come from? Does it come from social media? Where does it come from? Traffic by page. Which page is your most looked at, most popular? And your conversions, especially when it comes to lead magnets. When it comes to lead magnets, so I'll just share a little story about my own lead magnet. Originally, I created a lead magnet that was 5 marketing mistakes that are keeping businesses from making more sales. Okay, 5 marketing mistakes. And somebody said to me, well, Diana, maybe you need to frame that in a positive framework. And I went, possibly. So I turned basically the same content, mistakes, into 5 proven secrets for getting more clients. And we are now doing some split testing just based on the titles of those lead magnets. So sometimes your lead magnets need some testing and tweaking, as does your website. And my last key for you is my last thing that you should look at your website and be really, 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 really clear on. The most overused word on people's websites is the word I. Like, I am this, I am that, I have these credentials, I can help you do this, I can. Change the wording around, flip it around, and use the word you. Because when you use the word you, it is the most effective word in marketing. And it is the way to sort of engage your prospect. Your prospect will know that you are talking to them. And it will make them feel so much more engaged with you and feel that you are actually talking directly to them. So they're actually 21 ways that your website might be costing you money. If you are watching this on replay, it is #replay. But I want to make sure that I am going to help you fix your website. And so every 6 months or so, I offer this program, Website Makeover Bootcamp, where we actually spend the good part of the day in a small group, and you leave with your website what we call wireframed. In other words, we would draw it out. And have I got it here with one of my clients? I'll show you what I've done with one of my clients. Is I actually have this little form and we fill it in and we write it out. And by doing this, once you go to your web designer is going to say, thank you profusely, number one. It's going to take them less time because they know exactly what you want, how you want it laid out. And you know what? For most of you, it is just words that need changing. Some of you, maybe it's a bit more, but it's mostly words. Those people that have gone to my website Makeover Bootcamp have found it to be the best investment for time and money. And in fact, one gentleman told me he wished he had done this years ago, and it would have saved him not hundreds of dollars, but thousands of dollars, because web designers, I love my web designer, but most web designers are not copywriters. And I'm not saying that you hire a copywriter. I'm just saying going through a few simple exercises, you can do the same thing. And I can help pull that genius out of you so that your website actually reflects who you are. So thank you so much. There's been so many of you here on this, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate your feedback. Remember, every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, we do a free training. And next month, we are going to talk about client getting Facebook Lives. And if that is something that interests you, head on over to my new pop-up Facebook group. And you're going to see more about this in this group. So thank you again. Hope to see you at Website Makeover Bootcamp. Bye for now.